My name is Lucas, 28 years old, graphic designer. My life has always been about structure and reason. The gym was my only social ritual. Get in, train, get out. No complications. Until Raphael. It was supposed to be just a gym buddy thing. But 3 months ago, he completely disrupted my world. It wasn't just his natural charm or the way he actually paid attention to what I was doing. It was the way he looked at me. I noticed he had green eyes. I noticed his smile was warm, without second thoughts, but also without walls. I noticed that, for the first time in a long time, someone was actually seeing me. Not just looking, seeing. And it should have ended there. It should have been just another gym conversation. But it wasn't. We started actually talking, commenting on workouts, making fun of whatever terrible music they had blasting at the gym, little observations about nutrition, about being tired, about life. Small talk. Stuff that seemed totally innocent on the surface. I started timing my workouts to line up with his, gravitating toward the machines near him. Me, who always thought of myself as straightforward, grounded, no nonsense, suddenly acting like some lovesick kid. There was no big moment where everything changed. It just happened slowly. My stomach twisting when he smiled. Him taking up space in my head during work, keeping me awake at night. I fought it because it made no sense. I've never been into guys. So why is my heart pounding at 2 a.m. just thinking about him? I needed to get a grip. But what I didn't realize was that running away would only make it worse. It's been 2 weeks since I've shown up at the gym. I didn't want to admit it even to myself, but it's the truth. I'm avoiding him. I'm running away. I made excuses. Heavy workload, important project, exhaustion. Anything to justify not running into him again. Because the last time we saw each other, something changed. Or maybe it became too obvious for me to keep ignoring. It was right after we finished working out. We were heading out at the same time, and he asked if I wanted to grab a quick coffee at the cafe downstairs. Super casual. Just a friendly thing. I said yes because saying no would have looked weird. Saying no would have meant admitting something was off. And I wasn't about to admit that to myself. We sat down. We actually talked. And for the first time, it wasn't just gym small talk. He opened up about his life. How he'd moved to São Paulo 2 years ago by himself to make something of himself. How he missed having real connections with people. You know, people who actually saw beyond the surface. And then he looked at me. It wasn't a casual look. It was direct. Deep. Like he was trying to read something in me that I didn't even have the courage to read in myself. He said something like, "You're different from most people at the gym. Like, you're actually present, you know? You're not just mindlessly going through the motions." And I didn't know what to say. Because the way he said that, the tone of his voice, the intensity in his eyes, made my chest tighten in a way I'd never felt before. Not with any woman. Not with anyone. It was in that moment that I realized, this isn't just admiration. It's not just friendship. It's something more. Something I don't know how to name. Something I don't want to name, because naming means facing, and facing means changing, and changing is terrifying. I left that cafe and went dark for 2 weeks. Told myself it was just a phase, that time and distance would fix it. Total bullshit. He's everywhere in my head now. Telling myself it's just work stress doesn't cut it anymore. I'm way out of my depth, torn between panic and this dangerous curiosity. What if this feeling is more real than anything I've ever experienced? I'm at the edge. Do I keep running, or do I face it? I close my eyes, trying to force sleep, but he's there. And then my phone vibrates. My heart stops. Literally stops for a second before it races. I know who it is before I even look. Because that's how it works when you're obsessed with someone. You feel it, you know. I pick up my phone. The screen lights up. And there it is. Raphael. "You've been MIA. Everything okay?" 7 words. Just 7 words. But each one pierces my chest as if he knows exactly what's happening inside me. As if he can see through the distance, through the excuses, through all the layers of denial I've built up over the last 2 weeks. My hand trembles. My fingers hover over the keyboard. What do I say? Lie again? Say everything's great, that I'm just busy, that I'll be back soon? Or do I finally stop running? I look at the message. at his name on the screen, at the simple question that carries so much weight. And for the first time in 2 weeks, I realize I can't avoid this anymore. I can't avoid him anymore. I can't avoid the truth that's screaming inside me, even if I still don't have the courage to name it. My thumb hovers over the keyboard. The cursor blinks, waiting. And I have no idea what I'm going to write. But I know that whatever I say now will change everything. Because ignoring this message would be a lie. Responding would be admitting. And admitting would be the beginning of something I don't know if I'm ready to face. Maybe the question isn't whether I'm ready, but whether I have the courage to stop running. You've been MIA. Everything okay? My hand trembles as I finally start typing. Sorry. My head's been all over the place. Work. I delete. Too vague. Too cowardly. Yeah, all good. Just busy. I delete again. That's a lie. And Raphael will know it's a lie. I stare at the cursor blinking, as if the right answer would simply appear if I waited long enough. And then, without thinking too much, because thinking too much is what brought me here, stuck in my room at 2 a.m. running from everything, I type. Can I be honest? I send it before I have the courage to delete it. 3 dots appear immediately. He was waiting. He was awake, waiting for my response. Always. 1 word. Just 1 word, but it carries so much weight that I feel my chest tighten. My fingers hover over the keyboard. What do I say now? How do I explain that I'm running from him without admitting why? How do I tell him that his presence confuses me without revealing exactly what kind of confusion? I've been kind of lost, don't really know how to explain it. The 3 dots appear and disappear, appear again, as if he's choosing his words carefully. Do you want to talk? In person? My heart races. Talk in person, with Raphael, alone, without the noise of the gym around us, without other people, without the excuse of having to do 1 more set or move to another machine. Just the 2 of us. I think so. I send it before I lose my nerve. Are you home? Yeah. Want to come over? I know it's late, but sometimes talking in person helps. I read the message 3 times. 4. 5. Raphael is inviting me to his place. Now. 2:30 in the morning on a random Thursday. Everything in my head screams to say no. Say it's late, that I have work tomorrow, that we can talk another day at the gym anyway. But the gym is exactly the problem. The gym has other people, has distractions, has the possibility of escaping to the locker room, or making up that I forgot something in my car. His place has none of that. Address? My fingers type before my mind can interfere. He sends me the location. A building 20 minutes from here. Villa Maddalena. Of course he lives in Villa Maddalena. Apartment 704. Doorbell's working. I'm coming. 2 words that change everything. I turn off my phone and stand frozen in the middle of my room. My heart is beating so fast I can hear the blood pulsing in my ears. What am I doing? I should sleep. Should wake up tomorrow and realize this was all just exhaustion, anxiety, some stupid existential crisis that passes with time. But I'm not going to sleep. I know that. I change clothes on autopilot and grab my keys. Empty São Paulo streets. Every block, the voice in my head screams at me to go back, make up an excuse. But I keep driving. I'm tired of running. What I didn't know was that crossing through that door, the Lucas I knew would cease to exist. I pull up in front of his building in Villa Maddalena. 3 a.m. The doorman gives me that look, you know, the one that says he's seen everything at least twice and nothing phases him anymore. Apartment 704. He just nods and waves me through without a word. The elevator climbs slowly. The mirror shows me, tense, like I'm about to snap. 7th floor, wooden hallway, door 704. I hesitate with my hand in the air. The urge to run comes back one last time, but the truth is, I don't want to keep running anymore. I knock 3 times. 3 light knocks. My heart beats in the same rhythm. I hear footsteps on the other side, the lock being undone. And then Raphael is standing there. Gray t-shirt, sweatpants. Hair kind of messy like he's been running his hand through it. He smiles. It's not some big showy grin. It's small, real. The kind of smile that says, I'm really glad you're here without him having to say a word. Hey. My voice comes out hoarser than I expected. Hey, come in. He steps away from the door and I enter. The apartment catches me off guard. I was expecting some sterile bachelor pad. Instead, it's actually nice. Good lighting, plants everywhere, books, a guitar leaning in the corner. It feels lived in. Sorry about the place. He closes the door behind me. I glance around. It's basically clean. A couple mugs on the coffee table. A book left open on the couch. A blanket thrown over the back. There's nothing to apologize for. Well, I wasn't exactly expecting company at 3 in the morning. He smiles again, and something in that smile makes me breathe a little easier. There's no judgment there, no pressure. Just him being himself. Want water? Coffee? I have tea too if you want. Water's fine. He goes to the open kitchen, just a few steps away from the living room, and grabs a bottle from the fridge. He hands me a glass and pours one for himself. Sit, please. I sit on the couch. He sits on the other end, leaving a comfortable space between us. Not too close, not too far. The silence is strange, but not uncomfortable. It's like he's giving me time to find the words. So, he starts, but doesn't finish, as if he's waiting for me to fill in the rest. I take a sip of water, look at the glass in my hands, at the coffee table, at anywhere but him. I don't really know where to begin. Start wherever feels right. There's no rush. No rush. Something in me loosens at those words. Did you notice I was staying away from the gym? Yeah, I did. Direct, honest, straight to the point. It's not because of anything you did, or said. I know that. I finally look at him. Raphael just watches me with that patient expression, like he's got all night. So why the distance? The question is kind, but it cuts right through. And I realize I don't have some ready answer prepared. Or actually, I do, but saying it out loud feels impossible. Because I was confused. Confused about what? He leans forward slightly, elbows on his knees. It's not pushy. It's just real attention. Genuine interest. About myself. About what I'm feeling. The words come out slow, like they weigh something. He just waits, doesn't fill the silence. I always knew who I was. I always felt sure. And then you show up and everything becomes scrambled. I run my hand through my hair, frustrated. You don't need to figure everything out right now. My name in his mouth hits different, but I always have. I always knew who I was, and now I don't know shit anymore. What follows is heavy silence, but it's not suffocating. It's like Raphael is just letting me be in this mess without pushing me to fix it all this second. Can I say something? I nod. Not having all the answers doesn't make you any less you. It just makes you human. I look at him, at those green eyes that see me in a way nobody has ever really looked at me. And the weirdest, scariest thing is, sitting here in his apartment, a place that should feel strange, but somehow doesn't, I feel safe. I feel more at ease than I have in weeks. And this comfort, this ease of simply being here with him, without needing to pretend or hide, is exactly what terrifies me. Because if I let myself relax, if I lower my guard, I don't know what happens next. And this uncertainty is the scariest and most thrilling thing I've ever felt in my life. We sit there, silence filling the space between us, but it's not uncomfortable. It's the kind of silence where you can hear your own breathing, your heartbeat, the world outside seeming distant and irrelevant. Raphael had just told me that not having all the answers didn't make me less me. And the strangest thing is that, looking into those green eyes, I believed him. I've never been one to believe in things without logic. I'm a designer. I work with structures, with forms, with reason. But there, in that welcoming apartment that smelled like coffee and had a guitar leaning in the corner, logic didn't matter as much. Can I tell you something? Raphael asks, his voice soft, almost hesitant. I nod, unable to form words. He adjusts on the couch, his body turning slightly in my direction. The window behind him reflects the city lights, creating a golden halo around his silhouette. And I realize I'm paying attention to details I've never noticed in anyone before. The way his light brown hair falls across his forehead. The way he bites his lower lip when he's thinking. The deep breath he takes before speaking about something important. I was with someone a couple years back, he says, focused on his hands. Met him at the gym, actually. But he was never fully present. He was too worried about what his family would think. Had one foot out the door the whole time, ready to bolt. He stops, takes a breath, and for the first time he looks back up at me. But I learned I can't carry someone else's self-discovery for them. I can be there, I can support them, but there's stuff only they can do for themselves. The words sit heavy in the air, and I get it. He's not telling me some random story. He's showing me a mirror, gently, but clearly. You think I'm like that? My voice comes out small, not strong. Raphael shakes his head. No. You showed up. You said yes. You're being real with me right now, even though you're scared as hell. That's completely different. I release air I didn't know I was holding. But honestly, I have no idea what I'm doing, I admit. And saying it out loud feels like a huge deal. I don't get why I came, why I can't stop thinking about you, what any of this is supposed to mean. And that's fine, Raphael says, and there's something in how he says it. So calm, so sure, that makes me actually believe him. You don't need answers right now. You just need to be truthful about what you're actually feeling. And in this moment, what I'm feeling is a mix of terror and relief. Terror because I'm exposed, vulnerable, without the defenses I normally build around myself. And relief because, for the first time in weeks, I'm not pretending. I'm not trying to rationalize. I'm not making excuses. I'm not hiding behind rehearsed phrases and logical explanations. I'm just here. What are you feeling right now? Raphael asks. It's such a simple, straightforward question that it actually throws me. I look at him. Those green eyes that really see me. No judgment, no expectations. And I realize nobody's ever asked me this. Not like this. Not wanting to genuinely know without already thinking they have the answer. Fear, I say, because it's the truth. Fear I'm wrong about who I am. Fear I'm right. Fear about what it all means. Fear what other people will think. What else is underneath the fear? He catches me off guard again. Because nobody ever asks that. Everyone stops at the fear like that's the whole story. I close my eyes for a second, feeling past the fear. When I open them, look at Raphael again. The answer just comes. Curiosity and something else I can't even name. Raphael smiles. Small, almost sad, but genuinely kind. That's way more honest than most people can be. And there, in that moment, something inside me comes loose. Not completely. Not enough to fall apart. But enough to breathe a little deeper, to let my shoulders relax, to allow the silence between us to become even more comfortable. Raphael picks up his water and takes a drink. I watch his throat, the line of his neck, and suddenly I'm aware of everything. How close we are on the couch. The way his arm sits on the back, almost against my shoulder, but not quite. The warmth coming off him, or maybe that's just me reacting. Look, Raphael says, turning the glass in his hands. I was scared too when I was younger. Scared of not fitting in. Scared of not being man enough. Not being normal. I wasted years trying to squeeze myself into a box that didn't fit. He looks out the window at the city lights, until I realized that I was the hardest on myself. That fear of judgment from others was really just fear of what I thought about myself. And when I finally started accepting myself, when I stopped fighting it and just let myself be, everything changed. I'm listening, and it's like he's inside my head, describing exactly this battle I've got going. What I always thought was true about myself versus what I'm starting to feel might actually be real. But it didn't happen overnight, he says. It was gradual, and somebody helped me through it. Someone who basically told me what I'm telling you. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just gotta be real. He looks right at me, and that's what I see in you, Lucas. I see someone being honest, someone being brave even though they're terrified. And that matters way more than any label or definition. Hearing my name from him hits different. It feels deeper, more real. And right then, I get it. What I feel for Raphael isn't just physical. It's not about how he looks or his body or those green eyes. It's that he makes me feel secure. The way he actually listens. The way he looks right through my walls and instead of tearing me down, he offers me acceptance. For the first time ever, I feel like someone actually gets me. And it terrifies me as much as it draws me in. Thanks, I say, voice rough, for telling me all that. For letting me be here. Raphael smiles genuinely. You can see it in his eyes. You've always been welcome here, Lucas. He sets the glass down, and when he settles back, I notice he's shifted closer. Just slightly. Maybe a few inches. But it's enough that I feel it. Enough that my breathing gets shallow. Enough that every part of me goes on high alert. His arm's still on the back of the couch, but now it's almost touching my shoulder. If I lean back even a tiny bit, we touch. And I want that. I want it so bad it's painful. But at the same time, I'm frozen, caught between wanting to close the space and being terrified too. Raphael just looks at me. There's something different about it now. Heavier, more present. I can't swallow. My throat is too dry. Lucas, he says again, different this time. Deeper. You don't have to be scared. Not with me. I believe him. I want to believe him. But my body's stuck between wanting to move closer and needing to pull away. Raphael moves and puts his hand on the couch between us. So close I can feel the warmth. My focus shrinks to just those few inches. A silent choice hangs there. He waits. I move, or I don't. I can't even tell anymore if I'm acting on instinct or actually choosing when it comes to Raphael. But I pull back. Away from that dangerous space. Away from those inches full of possibility. Away from the moment. The second I do, something inside me breaks. Not in a freeing way. The wrong way. It's not relief. It's not satisfaction. It's regret. Instant, gut-level regret. Raphael doesn't say anything. He just looks at the space where we almost touched. The quiet feels deafening, like I just messed everything up. But then he surprises me. He smiles. Not like he's disappointed. Not mockery. Not frustrated. It's tender. It's understanding. Like he sees through everything and knows exactly what's happening inside me. Lucas, he says, and something in his voice squeezes my heart. You're safe here. I want to argue. Want to say I'm not scared. Want to claim he's reading me wrong. But nothing comes out. Because he's right. I'm terrified. I don't. I try, but my voice cracks. I clear my throat. Try once more. I don't know what you mean. Weak lie. We both know it. Raphael doesn't move away, but he doesn't push closer either. Doesn't let me off the hook. That's okay, he says, still calm. You don't have to put on a show for me. And that kindness is what gets me. Not pressure, not confrontation, just straight up acceptance in his voice. My hands won't stop shaking in my lap. Raphael, it's complicated. He finishes for me, like he gets it. Really complicated. Because I've never... The words stick. Never felt like this. Not ever. Not with... a man, he says quietly. A statement, not a question. I nod, unable to look at him. I'm staring at my hands, these betraying hands that won't stop shaking. And that scares you, he goes on. Same steady voice. No judgment. Hell yeah, I admit. And saying it out loud for the first time hits hard. Terrifies me. Why? The question again. Simple, direct, and this time I know I need to answer truthfully. Because... I close my eyes. Deep breath. Because I have no idea what this means. What it means about who I am. I was so certain before, you know? Rock solid, and now... I'm lost. When I open my eyes, Raphael's looking at me like nothing else exists. Lucas, he says, and hearing my name like that does something to me, like he's actually seeing me. You don't have to have it all worked out. You don't need labels. You don't have to fit yourself into some box. But I need to understand it. I push back, desperate now. I need to make sense of this. I need to know what. Why? He cuts in gently. Why does it all have to make sense right this second? I got nothing. Because I've always needed everything under control. Need to understand it. Need to be certain. But Raphael? Nothing's certain. Just this confusing, terrifying, undeniable pull. I'm scared, I say. Barely a whisper. And it's the most truthful thing I've ever admitted. Scared what people will say. Scared what it all means. Scared who I'll become if... If what? He asks softly. If I let myself feel this. Heavy silence. Charged. He shifts, and for a second I think he's pulling back. That I've finally said something that's too much. But he doesn't. He leans forward instead. Not invading, just closing some space. Lucas, he says so gently I feel it in my chest. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to decide anything right now. You just have to stop pretending you're not feeling this. I look at him, and tears burn behind my eyes. I push them down hard, refusing. What if I can't do this? I ask, voice so small it's barely there. We figure it out, Raphael says. Simple as that. And that's it. That offer we, together. Not alone in all this chaos, that's what cracks everything open. One tear breaks free. Then another. And then I'm actually crying. Not loud, just tears pouring down my face as months of holding back just collapse. Raphael doesn't move, doesn't touch me, doesn't try to fix it. He just stays. Present. Real. That's all I need. At some point, I don't know when I catch my breath, wipe my face, feeling stupid, but also lighter. Sorry, I say. Don't apologize, Raphael says right away. Never apologize for being real. I laugh, kind of broken. I suck at it. At what? Being honest? At letting people actually see me, I correct. Raphael smiles. I know, but I see you now. And there's something in the way he says it. Something in the absolute acceptance in his voice. Something in the way he's not rushing me or pressuring me or judging me. Something that makes me want to be even more honest. Raphael, I say, and my voice trembles. I need to tell you something. He waits, patient as always. I take a deep breath. My heart is pounding so hard, I can feel it in my throat. This is it. This is the moment. If I say this now, there's no going back. No way to pretend it's not real. But looking at Raphael, at the acceptance in his eyes, at the way he's here with me without judgment, I know I need to say it. I need to be honest. I need to finally admit the truth I've been running from for so long. Raphael, I begin again, and my voice is shaking so much I can barely form the words. I need to tell you something, and I don't know how. My voice fails. My heart is in my throat. My hands are sweating. But I look at him, at this man who somehow managed to see through all my defenses, and I know. I know I need to say it. I know I can't pretend anymore. I know this is the moment everything changes. I don't know how to say this, I whisper. And there's as much fear in my voice as there is truth. But I need you to know that and as the words get stuck in my throat, as fear and desire battle inside me, as my entire world narrows to this moment, to this man, to this truth I can no longer deny, Raphael just waits. Patient. Present. Real. Waiting for me to finally admit what we both already know. The words die in my throat. My heart is pounding so hard I feel like it's going to explode. My hands are shaking. Lucas, Raphael says softly, and there's so much kindness in his voice that it almost makes me cry. You don't need to be afraid here. Just breathe. I try. God knows I try. But the breath comes out shaky, broken. I tried to ignore it. I begin. And my voice cracks again. I tried to convince myself it was exhaustion, stress. Anything but. Anything but you. The words get stuck, but the truth hangs heavy in the air between us. Raphael doesn't move. He just waits, with that impossible patience, those green eyes fixed on me with an understanding that breaks me apart. I spent my whole life knowing who I was, I say. And now the words start pouring out, fast, desperate, knowing what I wanted, knowing how things were. And then you showed up. And suddenly, I don't know anything anymore. My hands grip my pants so hard my knuckles turn white. You confuse me, Raphael. You make me question everything. Everything I thought I knew about myself. Everything I thought was true. It's all a mess now. I look at him, really look at him, and I see the way he's watching me, without judgment, without pressure, just present. And the worst part is I can't stop thinking about you. I confess, and my voice is so low I can barely hear it. I wake up thinking about you. I fall asleep thinking about you. I avoided the gym for 2 weeks because I was afraid of what it meant to want to see you so badly. Tears burn behind my eyes, but I don't let them fall. I don't know how to exist like this, I finally say, and admitting it is like losing my grip. I don't know how to handle it. And it scares the hell out of me, Raphael. It scares me because it contradicts everything. Everything I thought was true about who I am. The silence sits so heavy on my shoulders, I can feel it. Then Raphael shifts forward, and his voice comes out so quiet it's like he's holding me. Lucas, you don't need everything worked out. I stare at him, confused, and he keeps talking. You don't have to know what this is or what to call it. You don't need to reinvent yourself or figure it all out right now. His eyes never break from mine. You just have to let yourself feel. It cracks something open in me. The wall that was keeping everything locked down shatters. But what if I don't know how? My voice is shaking. It's fine if you don't know, Raphael says, and I can hear the certainty in him. Being confused, being scared, that's human, Lucas. That's real. He extends his hand slow, showing every move, and puts it on the table between us. Not touching, just open. You try so hard to shove your feelings into categories, he says. Make logic out of something that doesn't work that way. Feelings don't follow rules. They don't need permission. I look at his hand, the way it sits there, open, waiting. What if all this changes me? I whisper. So what if it does? Raphael answers, small smile. You're so scared this will make you different. But maybe it just makes you more honest with yourself. Maybe it's not about losing who you were. It's about becoming who you actually are. His words hit like light hitting dark places. My voice cracks. I just don't want to get it wrong. Myself. You're not wrong, Raphael says, and his conviction is solid. Your feelings aren't wrong. Your confusion isn't. Your fear isn't. None of it is wrong. He leans closer, voice dropping even more. You're exactly who you need to be right now. It's okay not knowing what's next. It's okay if you're just exploring. Tears pour down before I can stop them. I'm terrified, I admit, voice breaking completely, all my walls crumbling. Terrified of what this means, what people will think, that I'm not strong enough. Lucas, Raphael says my name like it matters. Look at yourself right now. You're here, telling me the hardest truth you've ever said. That's not weakness? I laugh through tears, wiping my face. It feels weak, I say. Then you don't get what strength actually is, Raphael says, completely serious. Strength isn't being fearless. It's being scared and doing it anyway. That's what you're doing. I look at him through tears and see how genuine he is. What others think doesn't matter, he goes on. What matters is what you feel right here. He touches his chest, his heart. What matters is being honest with yourself, finally. Those words feel like a weight lifting. What about you? I ask, barely audible. How do you feel about all this? Raphael smiles, the kindest thing I've ever seen. I'm grateful, he says simply. Grateful you trusted me enough to let me in. Grateful because you're being brave. And he stops, and for the first time his eyes show vulnerability too. Grateful because I'm not the only one feeling this. My heart jumps. You feel it? I ask, hope shaky in my voice. Since day one at the gym, Raphael says. I saw you, Lucas. Not just what you look like, I saw you. How you kept yourself locked down, carrying everything by yourself. I wanted to understand that person. Be near them. He looks at his hand between us, then back at me. But I wasn't going to push or rush. This had to come from you at your pace. My breath catches. And now? I ask. Now you decide, Raphael says quietly. What you do with this. How far you want to go. And whatever you choose, I'm with it. He pauses, small warm smile. But I'm hoping you'll stay. Tonight at least. Long enough to feel that this doesn't have to be scary. I look at him. This person who somehow saw through all my walls, who was patient while I battled myself, who offers acceptance with no strings. And right then, I let myself imagine it. That maybe I don't need it all worked out. That maybe it's okay to actually feel this. That maybe I can stop lying to myself about who I am and what I want. I don't know how to do this, I admit. You don't have to. We'll figure it out together. What if I screw it all up? We work through it. There's no wrong way, just what's real. I look at his hand waiting there. And then slow. So gradual, I'm not sure it's happening. I reach out. Our fingers barely touch, just enough to feel his warmth against mine. And nothing breaks. The world stays. I don't vanish. I just feel. His skin. The warmth. The weight of this moment, this contact, this connection. It's scary and freeing all at once. See? Raphael whispers, voice full of care, almost breaking me. You're good. We're good. I breathe out, finally. I'm still scared, I say. Yeah, Raphael says, fingers intertwining with mine. But you're doing it anyway. That's what matters. We sit like that, hands locked over the table, two guys sharing something I never imagined. Then somehow, because bravery feeds bravery, because acceptance opens doors, the words just come. Raphael, I start quiet as hell. I want this. I want to try. But I stop, swallow. I don't know how, I finally say. I've never. Not with a guy, never. Raphael's face shifts soft, understanding. We'll take it slow, he says. Your speed. But there's something else. Something that'll shift everything between us. Something burning in my chest. I look into those green eyes that saw me from day one, and the truth surges up. Now or never. Show me, I whisper. Teach me. Sure? I don't know about the future, but this... Yeah. Yes. Show me. Raphael leans in slow. His eyes check mine, making sure, looking for any sign I'm actually here, wanting this. I am. First time in forever, I'm completely present. Do it, I say again, stronger, because if I don't confirm, he'll stop. And I need him to not stop. His fingers touch my face, gentle like I might break. The warmth dissolves my brain. No thinking, just feeling. You're shaking, he whispers, voice so tender it hurts. Yeah, I answer, no point lying. He can feel it. He's so close I feel his body heat, his breath on my skin, everything. He moves closer. I close my eyes. Not fear exactly, it's just too much. Too much sensation. Too much wanting. When his lips touch mine, it's soft. Softer than I imagined. Softer than anything I tried to push down these past weeks. For a second, just 1 second, everything in me locks. Because this is real. This is happening. Because after this, I can't pretend anymore. Can't hide behind not knowing or denial. But then he pulls back just enough to look at me, and I see it. The question, the care, the patience, and something cracks open inside me, not breaking apart, opening. Like all the chains I wrapped around myself suddenly go loose, and I can actually breathe for the first time in forever. I lean forward this time, closing the space, and kiss him back. It's not perfect, not like the movies where everything aligns and there's music and it all makes sense. It's awkward, hesitant, I don't know what to do with my hands, so they hover for a second before I finally put them on his shoulders, feeling the muscle underneath his shirt. But it's real. And it's mine. And it's his. And that's all that matters. When we pull back, we're both breathing harder. And the silence between us isn't weird. It's heavy, but comfortable. "You okay?" he asks quietly, hand still on my face, thumb moving soft circles on my cheek. I laugh, shakier than expected. "I don't know," I admit. "I don't know what to call this." "You don't have to," Raphael says, something so obvious in how he says it, I almost cry. "You can just feel it." And I get it. That's it exactly. I spent so long trying to box things up, label every feeling, every attraction, every thought like I needed a manual for my own life. But being here with him, skin against skin, heart pounding in my chest, this mix of fear and excitement and relief and wanting all at once, doesn't need a name, doesn't need explaining, can just be. "I've been scared for so long," I whisper, words spilling out, scared what it meant, what people would think, what I'd have to change about myself. Raphael pulls back just enough to look at me, eyes so full of understanding I feel it in my throat. "And now?" he asks. I breathe deep, and when I exhale it's like dropping a weight I've carried forever. "Still scared?" I admit, no point lying here. But I'm done letting fear decide. He smiles, the kind that doesn't need words. The kind that says, "I get it, and I'm here, and you're not alone," all at once. Then he pulls me back. And this time when we kiss, it's different. Surer. Like my body finally understands what took my brain so long to accept. His hands move to my waist, warm and solid through my shirt, grounding me, makes me feel present, makes me feel alive. I put my hands on his face, feeling the stubble, the warmth of his skin, every detail like I'm trying to burn it into memory. Because I know this matters. I know this moment right here, right now, with him, is the kind that divides life into before and after. When we finally pull apart, we're both smiling. Not magazine smiles. Nervous, shy, almost can't believe this is happening smiles. "This doesn't erase who I was," I say suddenly, needing to get it out. "I'm still me, still need things to make sense. This doesn't transform me into someone else just because..." Raphael nods, no surprise on his face, no confusion, just understanding. "I know," he says. "You don't have to become someone new. You just have to stop pretending this part doesn't exist." It's so simple the way he says it, so obvious. I don't need to rewrite everything, don't need to throw away what I thought I knew. I just need to admit maybe I don't know it all. Maybe the boxes I tried to fit myself in were too small. Maybe I'm more complex, more fluid, more human than I wanted to admit. "I don't know what happens next," I say, voice vulnerable in a new way. "Neither do I," Raphael says. And somehow that's comforting. He's not holding all the answers. We're figuring it out together. "But we can," he adds, and his hand finds mine, fingers interlaced, something so small, but heavy with meaning. I look at our hands together and think about every time I avoided his touch. Every time I made distance just because being near him scared me. Every time I pretended it wasn't obvious because admitting it felt impossible. And now I'm here, on his couch, in his apartment, lips still burning from the kiss, heart still racing, my whole world flipped in the best possible way. "Thanks," I whisper, not even sure what for. For being patient? For making this safe? For letting me feel what I feel? All of it, maybe. "You don't need to thank me," Raphael says, squeezing my hand. "You did the hard part. You let yourself feel." And he's right. That was it. Not the kiss or the touch or any of that. The hard part was saying it out loud, looking at myself and admitting, this is real and it's okay. Choosing truth instead of hiding. Choosing to live instead of disappearing. We sit quiet, hands linked, and I watch the city lights through his window, twinkling down below. I think about how many others are fighting the same thing right now. "What's on your mind?" Raphael asks. I look at him, and for the first time in weeks, there's no filter, no walls, no need to protect myself. "I spent so long trying to be what I thought I should be," I say. "Maybe it's time to find out who I actually am." Raphael smiles genuinely. His whole face lights up, and it does something to my chest. "You're going to like who you find," he says. And I believe it. For the first time, I'm not afraid of what's waiting. I'm actually curious. Maybe I don't need all the answers right now. Maybe living with uncertainty is okay. Maybe it's necessary. Some things need time. Some truths need space. And I have time. For the first time, I feel unlimited. "Stay," Raphael whispers, and it's not a demand, just an offer. To not leave yet, to stay here, in his space, where I can be honest and broken and confused, and it's all fine. "I'm staying," I say, and it's the easiest yes I've said. When we settle in, his body close, his hand holding mine, I feel a calm I haven't known in forever. Not the calm of having answers. The calm of asking better questions. The calm of stopping fighting myself. Just allowing. I breathe and drop the fear and the need to control everything. I embrace not knowing. Maybe joy is just accepting that I'm bigger than any single word. "Thank you for showing me," I whisper. "Always," Raphael says. For the first time, I'm not running. I'm just here, and it's enough, for now.